Hey guys, what is up? It is Spooky Noodles, and I am here with a writing vlog. Yepers, I wrote a lot yesterday. I haven't started writing today, but I wrote a lot yesterday, and I think I made a writing vlog yesterday, and I ended up writing a lot more. So I thought I'd update you with what I'm doing. And by the way, I just wanted to update you with this. I tried writing stories side by side, and it was working well, but I ended up just deciding to connect them in a way. I don't know if I like how I connected them, and I feel like there's too much exposition going on. But I'm gonna keep writing the story, and I'll fix it later. But for now, I connected the two stories, and I have come up with 5,333 words. Whoops, wrong window. It's been, I wrote a lot yesterday. I wrote around 2,000 words, maybe even 3,000. I can't really do the math. But 2,000 for sure words. Ooh, Chester's climbing. I got quite a bit done, writing wise. Today I'm helping the family out a lot. We're cleaning up the house. So there probably won't be much of a chance to write. In fact, I'm surprised I even have a chance to make this video. So I figured I'd just get the writing vlog out for the day, because I did do a lot the other day. So I thought I'd update you with that. So far it's pretty good. I feel like there's too much exposition going on, which I never have had a problem with that before. In fact, I've had the opposite problem, and that's where I just don't explain things enough. But this time I'm feeling like there's a little bit too much exposition going on. Like a lot of describing things, and not describing things, but just telling people the character's personal business, like really diving into it. And I feel like all she's doing is making a cup of coffee, and then I bring up her traumatic past or something like that. So I keep trying to hold myself back a little bit from trying to do too much exposition, but I feel like it's gonna happen. And I decided for the longest time, because I was gonna just delete the whole thing, all 5,000 words, and restart. But I was like, I already wrote a lot, and I might have over-explained things, but I think I should just continue and motor on and forget like it ever happened, and then later clean it up in the second draft. Because I don't know if it is truly too much exposition or not. I just have a feeling it is. And from what I gathered on my author Facebook channel, or not channel, the author Facebook page, which is BOH, which is Books of Horror, BOH Author Central. And I asked questions like, how do you know if you're doing too much exposition, and what do you do about too much exposition, and blah blah blah. And I got a few, not a lot, but a few replies, and they were all dealing with one person said, if you feel like there's too much exposition, most likely there is too much exposition. So I'm trying to keep that in mind. I believe there's probably too much exposition going on, so I'm gonna go back and fix that in the second draft. But for now, I should just write the story, and that's the most important thing, is just writing the story. And yeah, the story again is called Take Me From Here. I've already told you what it's about, but if you didn't watch the last writing vlog, then I will tell you right now. It is about a girl who gets kidnapped by her ex-boyfriend and tossed and locked into the trunk. Meanwhile, a detective under the name Alan, not under the name, that's his name, Alan, PI, private investigator, Alan. His last name's Moore. I thought it would be fun to make him Alan Moore. First of all, it sounds like a great detective name. Second of all, that's an author. He wrote V is for Vendetta, I think. I'm pretty sure that's what he wrote. I never read the book, but I saw the movie, and it was amazing. I'm pretty sure that was his book. Maybe it was under a different title. In fact, you know what? I don't want to be wrong, so I'm going to look up V is for Vendetta and book. Um, yeah, V is for Vendetta by, or I should type in by Alan Moore, because then it will change it and give me the right, yep, it's by, yep, V for Vendetta is a series, and, yeah, okay, cool stuff. It's a novel series. Publisher was DC Comics. Illustrator, was it a comic book series? I don't know if it was a comic book series or a book. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's a book because from what I remember, it's a book. Yeah, it's a book. I'm gonna put want to read there, but it was illustrated later as like a comic book, I guess. Anyways, that's besides the point. I named him after a great author. At least I think he's great. I'm not sure if he is or not because I never read his work. But I enjoyed the movie thoroughly, so I have to imagine the book's pretty good. People say it's like his third best book, so I don't know if that means anything. I don't know how many books he's written. Yeah, I don't know why I was talking about V for Vendetta, honestly. Why did I? Oh yeah, because Alan Moore, the detective in my story, or private investigator. Alan Moore's history is pretty cool. I think I did a good backstory for him, and I can't wait to start writing more about him. I've made a few. I'm doing kind of a thing like Stephen King does, where he makes up his own towns and cities, and then has them all connected in stories. Like my one book, Symbiotic, takes place in Black Creek, Michigan. There's some little hint drops of that book in this, like little Easter eggs in this book, like how the police department and where Nia, the main protagonist, goes missing. It's all happens and takes place in Black Creek, but really the main story is going to take place in an Upper Peninsula, which I'm going to make up a town there as well. I'm thinking of maybe I don't know, Stag Ridge. That might be a cool town name. Stag Ridge would be cool. I think I'm gonna go with Stag Ridge. And just have it known for a place where deer, exist a lot. Like there's a large population of deer maybe there, and that's why it's called Stag Ridge. Maybe there's a ridge. Anyways, that's besides the point. I'm doing really well with writing it so far, even though I think there's probably too much exposition. But I've written over 5,000 words, and I'm rolling with it. I do have this thing where I feel like I need to introduce the character. So I threw in the character, but then I do in the beginning of the chapter, I write 2 days later. And then the next chapter is 1 day prior. So I don't know if that's going to aggravate people, and if I should just write it as the story goes. So not going back and forth too much. I don't plan on going back and forth the whole book. But in fact, this is probably the last time I say anything about what day it is. I know people hate when it's going back and forth and it gets confusing. You don't know when things are taking place and stuff. At least sometimes that happens to me. Yeah. I'm working on it. I'm working really hard on it. It's my favorite piece of work I'm working on at the moment. I'm taking a break from Symbiotic as I think of an ending for it, because I don't know how I'm going to end it, but basically I'm at a fork in the road, and there's like a bunch of routes that I can go down, and I'm trying to choose one, and the best one and the one less traveled down. Nothing's original. Let's just throw that out there, but I want mine to be remembered. So I'm trying to think of an ending before I finish the book. So that's why I'm taking a break from that one, and this is a book that I'm very excited about. It's a novella, and I say it's a novella because I don't expect it to be too long. Hold on one second, guys. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry, I had to help help out downstairs. I rushed up the stairs to do this and end this video. Now I'm out of breath, so I apologize. But yeah, working on the story. Going well. Too much exposition. What you gonna do about it though, right? Fix it. That's what. I don't like the whole going back and forth through time. I think the story should just be one steady line and not going back and forth. But that's what I'm doing at the moment. Maybe I'll reconstruct it, but I feel like I should introduce the characters early on, so the reader doesn't have to like learn about a character like 5 chapters in, you know. I don't like when that happens, when you have to learn a whole new character, you know. And I just like it when they're all introduced in the beginning, even if the stories don't connect until later on. Excuse me. Like, that's the thing that I liked about They Thirst by Robert R. McCammon. Even though I did not like the book, they introduced the characters early on. And I don't know how many characters were introduced, but I'm pretty sure all their stories ended up intertwining in some way. So, but that's how I'm trying to do mine. I could do one thing, and that is shortening a chapter, or making a chapter longer, I should say. Like lengthening a chapter by taking this 3rd chapter and just connecting it to the 1st chapter, so there is no going back and forth between time. But I don't know if I like that idea. I'm gonna leave it as it is right now and just continue writing, but it's a problem that I can fix later on, so I'm gonna probably fix it later on. But yeah, if you haven't heard, my story, Trunk or Treat, is in a anthology right now. Books of Horror Community Anthology, Volume 1, or 1. Sorry, I don't know why I held 2. It is pretty. It's, first of all, the story was originally written in 1st person, so if it sounds weird when you read it in 3rd person, I apologize. It was written in 1st person originally, and the 1st person version of the story is going to be released in an anthology later in March, probably, like late in March or the next month. Yeah, so maybe later in March or sometime in April. Is that the next month, I think? But Nightmare Soup is going to have the first person narrative of Trunk or Treat, and then the 1st person narrative of Portal in the Woods. Both are very good stories. Portal in the Woods is exceptional. It's one of my favorite stories I've ever written. Trunk or Treat is good. I like Trunk or Treat. I'm very happy with the way the 3rd person narrative came out, because I didn't think it was going to come out well at all. And I did send both narratives out to Books of Horror, or the person who was editing the Books of Horror Community Anthology. I sent them both versions of Trunk or Treat, and they like the 3rd person narrative better, so maybe I'm wrong and the 3rd person narrative is better, but just know that there's a 1st person narrative coming out for that story in sometime in March or April. I can't wait for the book to be released, because it will have images of, like, illustrations of the story. I'm supposed to be getting a free contributor copy, but I think I ticked off the creator of the book. My story is still being used in the book, but I think I ticked him off because I kept asking for money. I was a little dead pressed on it. Or whatever the saying is. I really needed the money at the time, and he finally got back to me and was like, he didn't even get back to me. He just sent me the money without saying anything. Then I sent him a thank you letter or message or email. Never heard back, so I think I ticked him off. If I did, I am so sorry. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want anyone to harp on him or something like that, but if anyone were to harp on him. But I'm happy that he finally paid me. He said he was going to pay me one day, and then the day passed, and then I just sent him a nice email saying, you know, I'm waiting patiently, you know, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I don't want to make this a big deal or anything, but I'm just worried that I pissed him off, and I didn't want to do that. That was my intent at all. I just wanted to get paid because I've never been paid for a story before, and this isn't the first time. Well, technically that's not true, but I won't get into that. I was paid for this story and Portal in the Woods, Trunk or Treat and Portal in the Woods, and yeah, with that money, I am using a little bit of it towards editing. And I bought some books with it. So I bought, what did I buy? I bought Christopher Fay's Night Flyer. I bought The Secret of Anatomy by Mark Morris, Stitch by Mark Morris, The Immaculate by Mark Morris. There's a little theme there, a lot of Mark Morris books. And then I bought Extremities by Kathy Koja, which is a short story collection, which is signed, by the way. And I shouldn't be telling you what I bought, because I would rather you guys see it in a book haul. But to be honest, if we're being honest here, only about 2 or 3 people watched my writing vlogs. You know, I have a lot more views on my book hauls, so I still expect some people to be surprised by what I get, because they probably won't be watching my writing vlogs. That's just me, though. Maybe I'm wrong and people do watch the writing vlogs. I don't know. I just have a feeling that no one really watches these things, and they're just kind of like a personal diary for me. Oh, by the way, this is the 40th writing vlog. We are almost to 50 writing vlogs. And maybe I'll do like a special giveaway when we get to number 50. I will be probably have my story edited by the 50th writing vlog. Right now, my collection is being edited by the great Sarah Scutt. I believe that's how you say her last name. She is editing it. I had the money from my tax return, so I paid her, and now she's going to edit it starting tonight. And yeah, very, very excited about that. She's a great editor and a great person, and she doesn't charge too much. It's $1 per page. So if you guys want to go and work with her, I highly recommend her. I used to use ServiceScape, which they charge like $8 per page, something ridiculous like that. And ever since I found out about Sarah Scutt, she does a phenomenal job editing. Like, she's as good as the other guys, if not better. And she charges less. So it's just wonderful working with her. She's a nice person. And just remember, as I forgot to do, double space your work when you work with her, because she charges by page. And if you don't double space your work at 12 font, whatever font you use, she's going to be a little frustrated. Because I accidentally sent over my first story. I paid her $10, or it was like $10 for the story, and she actually said it's fine now, but next time double space it. So I just wanted to warn you guys, if you do use her, remember to double space your work, because she charges by page, and that's how she makes her money. So I gave her $10 for a story that should have been $20. So there's a big difference there. It cuts how much she gets in half. So just remember that when you work with her. Amazing person. Her boyfriend, or husband I should say, he does formatting, and he also makes covers. I personally have a cover guy, so I'm not in need of covers, but I hear he's really good at formatting, and I'm going to go to him for formatting. He also is an author. He wrote Korean Road, which I have reviewed on my channel. Very, very good book, by the way. It's one of my favorite novellas of all time. I'm Fortunately, Hellbound Heart is above it, and Hellbound Heart is an exceptional piece of work. It's one of my favorite books of all time, if not my favorite. It's hard to beat Fear by Ronald Kelly and Traveling Vampire Show by Richard Lehman, but I definitely have a special place in my heart for that story. But that's besides the point. Korean Road is amazing too. It's special in novella. I highly recommend it. It's about this old guy who is having flashbacks to the war, and he escapes a elderly home, and it's really good. It's something special. I highly recommend the book. I believe it's out for audio right now, so you can get an audio book for it. So I highly recommend it. Brian Scott, like I said, is a good guy. All right, if I didn't say that, then I'm saying it now. He's a good guy. And then my author, or not my author, I'm the author. My cover artist, Don Noble. Want to recommend him, and he's my favorite artist. Not period. Like, I love his art. I always heart react to it on Facebook. His art is amazing. I love seeing the covers he comes up with. Every now and then he makes a pre-made cover that it works with my story, and I don't even know it, and then I go and have to grab it. He does sales. He's having a sale right now. Instead of charging you like $150 for a cover, that comes with the putting your title and author name on the cover, all that title, the font on the cover. It's usually $150, but he's charging $65 right now for it. So go to him if you're looking for art for your books. His work is honestly amazing. I'll maybe throw some of his work up on the screen, maybe here, or maybe at the end of the video. His work is amazing. I've gone to him every single time I've needed artwork. I've gone to Don Noble. Such a great artist. He too was once an author, but I think he got out of the game. He's now just doing art, and his art's amazing. He did the cover for Symbiotic. He did the cover for Take Me From Here. He even did work for me with stuff that never got completed, sadly. He also did Gray Matter, which is a short story collection. I used to have a book called Vigilante, and I never went through with making it because everyone kept saying how it was too much like another book, or, well, a comic book, and it really discouraged me, so I didn't end up writing it. But I might go back and change the story up a little bit and still write it, because it's still a good piece of work, and the cover's amazing. I actually might give the cover that I bought to a friend who is having issues with money, but he has stories, and he says he might have a story for that cover, which is about aliens, so it would kind of fit the cover. So if he doesn't use it, then I'm gonna use it somehow. I'll find a way to use it. Then he also did a cover for a story. I got 50 pages. I wrote like 47 pages to it. It was called The Barlow's Horror, which is about a family who moves into a house that they think is haunted, but it turns out it's not. And it was a good idea. I don't think it was a bad story in the slightest, but I just got bored because I did something I don't usually do, and that's outline. And for some reason, knowing how the story is going to end bothers me, because I just get bored writing it, and it's not fun to me. So I like writing without the knowledge of what's going to happen in the end, because it's like I'm a reader at the same time a writer. Like, I'm reading my work as I'm writing it, and I'm like, how's this going to end? It's like, well, I don't know. Let's continue writing it. So I'm definitely what they call a pantser, which is someone who, like, well, I don't know where the name actually originated from, but people who live at the seam of their pants or something like that. I forget what the saying comes from, but I'm a pantser, and that's someone who doesn't outline or anything like that. They just write, and then they reach the end. Famous pantsers, I only know one, and that is Stephen King. But that's a pretty good one. He's one of the best authors of all time. We all know it. My favorite work by Stephen King, just throwing it out there, is Christine. Christine's one of my favorite stories of all time. In fact, it is inspired Symbiotic, and same with Carrie. Symbiotic was definitely inspired by Carrie and Christine. Very good stories. I basically combined Carrie and Christine to make one book about two friends. Like the friendship between it's a lot more like Christine than it is Carrie. But if you take Carrie's powers and give it to what's his name? I don't remember the kid who gets possessed by the ghost of Christine, because Christine is just the name of the car. He's possessed by the ghost person who of the last owner. If he had the powers of Carrie, the story would be totally different. First of all, but that's what basically my story is. A friend is being slowly corrupted by a parasite, and yeah, that's symbiotic for you. But that's supposed to be you're not supposed to know that, so forget about it. If you ever want to read my book Symbiotic, forget that I ever said that, because then it's going to probably ruin the little twist in the middle of the book. But then again, the cover kind of suggests that the twist happens, so you might not be, maybe not, I don't know. But that's besides the point. I've kind of rambled on a little bit long here. I'm seeing this video is at 16 minutes, and I already have another segment of this video I made, so it's probably time to wrap things up soon. But yeah, I wanted to give credit to Brian, Sarah, Scott, and Don Noble for their hard work that they've done for me. Sarah did the editing, Brian's going to do the formatting, and Don Noble has done the artwork and will do the wraparound, which is only 25 bucks. I'll tell you how much I need right now to finish the book. Gray Matter, the short story collection, is set to be released in the summer. I haven't officially put it on Amazon yet, but it's going to be soon. There's a lot of things that need to be done, like editing for one, which is happening right now. But I also need $75, $25 for the wraparound, which right now all I have is the cover. I need the spine and the back, and he'll do the artwork for that. There won't be too much artwork, but yeah. So that will be 25 bucks, and then 50 bucks for formatting, which is formatting for ebook and a paperback. So then I can sell the book. I will then put it on sale on Amazon. Very, very excited. This is my first book I'm ever releasing. Gray Matter short story collection by yours truly. I think it has 13 stories, if I'm not wrong. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to just think off the top of my head. We got I Heard Santa on the Roof, Trunk or Treat, Dog Napper, Portal in the Woods, More Video, No Smoking, I'm forgetting some. I got 6 right now. There's got to be more than 6 stories though. There's oh, this isn't even it. Hold on. Sorry guys, I forgot that I cannot close the video camera, or else the recording stops. So I apologize for that. But you know what? I've talked long enough. I don't remember how many stories are in this collection. I think it's around 10 now that I think about it. But but I just can't remember. I accidentally created a monster, I believe, is in it. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I should know what stories are in my collection. But anyways, I want to say I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a spooky night. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.
Now I am become death, the destroyer